Welcome back to Livie's Lovelies, your inspirational craft channel, and I'm your host, Fam the Fabulous. For more ideas, inspiration, swaps, and challenges, click the link in the description below to join our craft community, The Maker Exchange, on Facebook. Welcome back, all my artists, creatives, crafters, and makers. Welcome back to the Lovely Lab. Now listen, today I'm just popping on real briefly to share with you one of the ways that I take my, gift giving up a notch by adding a little effort into the packaging, right? I've shown a couple of different ways that I've done that, but here's the third one. Now listen, one of the things that I will tell you is that I always have adequate packaging on hand. And by packaging, I mean, cellophane bags or envelopes and things of that nature, simply because, well, there's items in my Etsy shop that I have to package them in. And I also, from time to time, have custom requests, and so I have a variety of different sizes. Nevertheless, so I wanted to share with you how I packaged up these simple, scrappy, because that's what they're made out of, Kleenex pouches. So what these are, there's a little key ring holder. You can add them to your purse and your key ring, toss them in your car, book bag, whatever. And inside you put your little Kleenexes in. If you guys are interested in finding out how I made these, put it in the comments below. But there are plenty of other videos on YouTube that will show you how I actually got this template years ago online. But nevertheless, so this is simple craft cardstock. I have went online, just like in a Word document, which I actually use Photoshop, but in a Word document, you type up your wording, add your logo or a sentiment or whatever have you. Or if you have a die or a stamp, you can use that way. Now, because mine is specific and it needed a little explanation, because if you receive some fabric that has a little, you may not know what this is. So, I just always make sure that if it's not evident what the gift is, there's a little explanation on it, especially like for junk journals. FYI, if anyone ever gets a junk journal from me, they always get a little pamphlet or a little brochure on the inside that says, what is a junk journal? And it goes on to explain it. Nevertheless, I digress. So this one, it has one of the Kleenex pouches. I'm not going to add the Kleenex inside. When they're at the craft fair, I do have, if you buy that, you get the Kleenex for free. And they're off. They just get added to the gift bag. But all I did was take some craft cardstock. Once I've designed the paper or the sentiment, because I don't have a stamp that outlines what this is, then I would go ahead, print it out, cut it out using whatever stamp or die that you have. So this one was the size that I wanted to go with. It was the perfect size for the back of that. And then, so I printed it out, cut these into strips, ran it through my die machine, and here you have it. Now this one has some stamping in it. This one, because it's, child friendly, girl friendly, has a little bit of polka dots in there. This one has a little bit more of a swirly pattern here. One of my favorite stamp sets that I just recently picked up from a thrift store. And this one I have yet to do. So this one actually has the stitching behind it. So I'm just going to show you really briefly the quick process that I've done. Once you've got it printed out, you go ahead and you cut it. This isn't rocket science, folks. It truly is not. I'm not even going to turn this around because it's simple. And I think especially if it's something that you create very often, then you want to keep that template on hand, because you could use it for the next year if you decide to make those again. Okay, so I'll go ahead and cut this one down as well. Okay. So then from there, I will take out my cuddle bug. Get the plates all lined up. Slide this off a little bit because it truly is in the way. All right, and I'm just using regular paper. You can use colored paper, pattern paper, whatever tickles your fancy. That is completely up to you on how you want to approach it. But it's based on your design aesthetic or that in which you're going for. Oops, I forgot to put the plate underneath it. For your customer or gift recipient. That's all you want to keep in mind for your papers and your cardstock. Okay, so then I just take this, run it on through. Jeez. Okay, just move that out the way, off to the side. I'm surprised it actually cut the way it was supposed to, because you know anytime you turn the camera on, nothing happens as it should. So there we have that. Then we go ahead and take our little glue stick. Now you want to make sure you use a permanent glue stick, especially for items that you may store the following year, or you know, if you may have overstock that you may pull out the next year. You want to make sure you use a glue that has a permanent hold to it. Now mine are going out this year, so I don't have to worry about that. Turn that over. Make sure okay, and then you use a stamp of your choice, whatever color ink you like. I am going to use a little bit of a different, I'm just going to use this one. Now, I will tell you this. I have two, really quickly, I noticed I have two different stamp blocks. This is acrylic. This is just, I don't know if this is plastic or what this is, but this does not stick to this. It does stick to that. You see? Just pointing that out for you guys. So if you have this cloudy colored stamp base, you might want to use something else for your rubber and foam back stamps. And I'm not sure how it works with the acrylic, but so I'm just going to go on both sides, and then I'm going to actually take a piece of paper and leave it behind it, because I'm going to stamp off. There's going to be excess stamping. This is what I know. And actually, that's not wide enough. Now, these stamps are pretty good. I think these are one of the subscription or, you know, private ones that have their individual, what do you call it? Independent sales reps. I'm not sure which one it is, but I can just tell by the case and the quality. It's pretty good quality. So I'm just going to set this down here. Get some of this excess ink off my fingers, because yes, I have a lot of ink on my finger. And then there we have that. Now I will tell you, if you have pigment ink like I have, make sure that you either let it sit to dry for a decent amount of time, or you take your heat gun and dry that ink before you add your gifts into your packaging, if it's going to touch the inked area. Some of our papers are not as porous as others, so therefore the ink doesn't get absorbed as quickly. It does get absorbed, but just not as quickly. So just be mindful of that. Now, I'm going to take this over and dry this real quick, and I'll be right back. All right, so that's dried off, and I just want to let you know, just so you can see, before I took it over to the dryer, that ink was real juicy. You know, we don't want that going into the bag. So then the next thing that I'm going to do is just simply grab my cellophane, move this inky paper out of the way, add the cardstock, and you can always, just to be sure. So I'm adding the cardstock. Now, some of you may already have ideas, but listen, while you're watching TV, if you plan this right, while you're sitting down watching TV, you can be cutting the paper, and then on the next show, you could be adding the labels, you know, and then on the next part of the binge session, you could be adding the items to the packaging or the labels to the packaging. You know, just plan it right so that it's not so time consuming, you know, and you won't even know that you had it done. So last step is just seal that up. I am simply using some clear cellophane tape, desk tape. Okay, and there we have it. We've got some cute little gifts that are ready to go out, ready to reach their recipients and the purchaser. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope that has inspired you to take your packaging and your gift giving to the next level by doing a little bit more to that, you know, that gift bag, that cellophane bag. And I have already created a playlist for packaging and gift giving for the holiday season as well as throughout the year. So up in the corner there will be a card that will take you to the playlist in the event that you're interested in finding out some other ways. There's cute little candy pouches and tea pouches and all of those things in that playlist. So now's the time. Get yourself familiar with it. Now, for those who are new to the channel and you haven't already clicked subscribe, this is you've had plenty of time and you don't want to miss any of the future uploads. So go ahead and hit that button along with the notification bell. And for my continued supportive community, thank you so much for coming back, for sharing the content in your creative spaces, for commenting, liking, and all that good stuff. And I appreciate you guys. You know I do. With that being said, listen, until we're back here together on Patreon and YouTube, stay encouraged, stay blessed, stay creative and crafty, and stay tuned. Bye for now. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Hit subscribe to join the crafty community and be sure to click the bell for notifications of new uploads. Thank you so much for watching. Now stay tuned for more from Livie's Lovelies, your inspirational craft channel. Bye for now.